Oh, welcome back to NTI Week 2 with Mrs. Ward. I hope that everyone is doing well, staying safe, making sure that you're reading and writing a little bit. Here are a couple of things that I would like for you to work on this week. All right, so this is going to be for the week of April 17th through the 24th. Today we're going to begin a new unit. It is called Understanding Other People. We'll continue to work with Common Lit, but instead of poetry, this week we're going to be, actually for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be reading a couple of stories together, which are going to get you ready to write an essay about this topic, understanding other people. So by the end of this unit, students are going to be able to analyze how an author develops a character's point of view. By the end of the unit, you will write, or at the end of the unit, you will write a literary analysis essay that uses evidence from multiple texts to answer the essential question, why is it difficult to understand other people? Again, this final assessment is not due until May 11th. After reading the 4 texts over the next 3 weeks, the 4 texts we're going to be reading together are Middle School, The Mustache, We Wear the Mask, and Soul Painting. Those will all be found on Common Lit. You are going to write an essay in which you answer the essential question for this text set, which is, why is it difficult to understand other people? You're going to be sure to include specific details from more than one text in your essay, and I've got a couple of things that will help you work on that. So there is going to be a graphic organizer that obviously when you complete this graphic organizer, it's going to make it a little bit easier to write your paper. So I just want to show you a couple of things that you'll find here in the PowerPoint. This is the final assessment due May 11th. The essay prompt, why is it difficult to understand? In this packet, here's where you will find the graphic organizer. Okay, so this might be something that you want to print out if you're able to on your own, or you could just write this in a notebook somewhere. At the end of this distance learning text set, you will write a multi-paragraph essay answering the essential question, why is it difficult to understand other people? After you have completed each reading assignment, use the chart below to help you remember how that text answered the essential question. So again, those are 4 text titles that we'll be working with the next 3 weeks. And this right here, this text evidence section, include paragraph number, will help you with that final paper due on the 11th. Also in this packet, you're going to find helpful hints to help you organize the essay due May 11th. You'll notice it talks to you about what should be in each paragraph, which obviously you don't have to worry about yet, but this will help you. And then here's the essay prompt. There's a place for you to put your rough draft that you'll be submitting to me closer to May 11th, okay? So let's go back. Those are just a couple of things that will help you with the final assessment, okay? So now we are going to watch a video to get you thinking about the topic of this first writing. The first one we're going to be reading is this week on Common Lit is actually transcript from a podcast by Ira Glass. It is called Middle School. This is about a 3-minute video that'll just talk to you a little bit about what it means to be popular.
I wouldn't say there's like a most popular person in the 7th grade. I would say it's kind of just like a bunch of different friend groups.
So to be popular, I guess it needs to be known by a lot of people. I mean, I think that it means that you're known by people, but
it doesn't necessarily mean you're liked by a lot of people. It just means that everyone knows who you are. I guess some people will consider a group of kids to be popular based on how they dress.
Well, in this day and age, you have a lot of friends. You have Jordans or like the popular kind of shoes.
Where they sit at lunch, it's kind of like those things.
I mean, popular can have different meanings, but I think like now a lot of people think of it as like having lots of friends and being like very social, and a lot of people like you.
Everyone knows you and likes you. And yeah.
You're like sort of respected, but then there are some kids that like don't respect you, but like everyone knows like who you are.
I don't know. Sometimes people think you're popular if you have more followers on Instagram.
I mean, I guess that could impact it. Like the number of followers you have sort of impacts that.
Because like you're putting yourself on the web, so that allows people to see like who you are. So in order to be popular, people have to like you.
Like if you have more followers on Instagram or something like that, or subscribers on YouTube, maybe Facebook followers and friends, a lot of things.
I would say like the average amount of followers you get from school is about like 200, but then you get a lot that are family and friends from like camp or something. So popularity at school is like different than overall or on Instagram.
Some people are known by a lot of people, and like sometimes I'm not known by a lot of people, but like I have my best friends, so it's okay.
All right, so just to get you thinking about what your next reading passage is going to be about, now we're going to listen to the audio of your Common Lit reading for this week. So just listen, and then when you get a chance, later you'll, in your independent work, you'll reread this, or take another look at it, and answer a couple of questions as you've been doing with the Common Lit poems that have been assigned. Okay, so here is the beginning, and I'd just like you to listen to this now.
Hey everybody, Hourglass here. So we got this email at our radio show near the end of the last school year from a 14-year-old.
Hello?
Hey, is this Annie?
Yeah.
I called her up at her house in California and asked her to read it.
It says, Dearest American Life, I just escaped the whitewashed, brick-walled, iron-gated prison that is commonly known as middle school, and I'm finally out for good. But in all the time I've listened to your show, I have never heard an episode devoted to what goes on inside the walls of a middle school. I hope you'll think about it. Anonymous?
Yeah, you signed it anonymous, but then you actually, your email was signed with your name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had said anonymous because in middle school everybody's so judgmental, and I didn't want the kids to judge me or anything if they heard me on the radio.
Mainly she says that she wrote to us because she and her friends were talking right after they left 8th grade about how terrible middle school was. And she wondered, was it just as bad for other people as it was for them?
You always wonder whether other people are going through the same thing as you. And it'd be cool to like hear other people's stories about it and what they went through.
And if you had to explain to somebody, like, what are the worst things about middle school, can I ask you to just walk me through it? Like, what is so bad about middle school?
Kids there are all in kind of socially awkward stages that the drama every day can be frustrating, and girl-boy things, or if someone likes so-and-so, and then no matter who you are or what you do, you'll get made fun of for it. Anything in the world you can get made fun of for.
In Annie's case, she had friends who smoked, so she got criticized for smoking. But then she also was made fun of for not smoking, for being too much of a sissy to start smoking. She was made fun of for coming from a bilingual elementary school where everybody learned to speak Spanish and spoke it throughout the day.
And leaving elementary school, I guess I thought that when I got to middle school, everyone would think it was really cool that I spoke Spanish, but when I got there, they mostly just thought it was dumb. I don't know if they were jealous or what, but they would make fun of me for it. Then they'd say we were all full of ourselves for that we spoke different languages and stuff.
Did it make you feel bad?
Yeah, I didn't want to stick out in that way. If I got a new sweater or something, say for Christmas, that I really liked, and I would really want to wear it to school or something, but I'd be nervous because, like, what if someone didn't like my sweater or someone made fun of me for wearing it? It can be hard to do even the smallest things because you're so nervous that people tease you or judge you from it.
That sweater example, is that a real example?
Yeah, it actually is. I worried about it so much. I also had a pair of moccasins that I'd never worn, and they're kind of my signature now. Everybody really likes them. They're like ankle-high lace-up moccasins.
And how long did you have the moccasins before you actually wore them?
A few months, like probably 2 months. I guess I just thought if people didn't like them, they would all make fun of me for wearing them. And I didn't want to stand out that much.
What can be done to make middle school better?
I don't think you can really do anything about it. Nothing.
We talked about this for a little while. She said basically, everybody comes into middle school as a little kid, and then you're going to have to grow up, figure out who's in what group and who you are and who's above who. And you'd have to figure that out somewhere at that age, right? Might as well be middle school. And it was terrible, she says. But now she's in high school.
Whatever middle school was, it worked. Everyone's a lot friendlier, and everyone's lives are a lot better now.
Well, today on our radio program, for Annie, we look at whatever it is that happens in those mysterious years that we call middle school. We have stories today from all over the country, people lurching their way through these years when you're figuring out so much. We go to middle school dances and classrooms and down to the Mexican border. From WBEZ Chicago, it's This American Life. I'm Ira Glass. Stay with us.
So that's the first part of what you're going to be working on with Common Lit. And then makes me think your middle school experience will be so different as a result of having this time off due to the coronavirus pandemic. And I'm imagining that some of you are probably really, really sad and missing, possibly, primarily your friends, because I know that's a big part of middle school, but maybe a teacher or two. And some of you are probably really, really glad that you don't have to do that right now. And at this point, we don't know. Hopefully, there's still hope that we'll see each other again, maybe in May. I know a lot of states around us have canceled for the year. Still waiting to hear at this point what the governor of Kentucky is going to do about our schools. I have a feeling that we probably won't be back in school this school year. But again, we'll just have to wait and see what the governor has to say about that. Okay, so the next part of the Common Lit reading for this week is going to be the first clip. It's continuing with that podcast. This one is called Stutter Step, and it is about a middle school dance. Please listen.
Back to Stutter Steps. One good place to see the experiment that is life in middle school in action is a middle school dance. Last Friday, there were middle school dances all over the country, all at the same time, and we sent reporters to a half dozen of them to find out how kids were doing. They talked to them before the kids went inside to the field of battle, and no surprise, we found a lot of stress, a lot of uncertainty.
Who's nervous about tonight?
I am. I don't know.
Why?
Well, just, I don't know. We don't know what it's going to be like. I'm just confused. I just don't know. Yeah.
I mean, we've watched these things before, but they've never exactly had the term dance to it.
These four girls are sixth graders, and they're in a car on the way to a neon-themed dance at Edgewood Middle School in Highland Park, Illinois, with their mom and reporter Rob Wildebohr.
Who's going to dance with the boy tonight?
Nobody.
I
can tell you that.
You don't know what's going to be like slow dancing or regular dancing. That's why we are nervous.
Roughly 800 miles east in New Jersey, sixth grader Ethan DeRose was hoping that there would be at least one slow dance, though did he feel ready for a slow dance?
Nope. Not at all.
Why not? What are you worried about?
I just don't know how to do it. Like, I'm not sure that I'll do it correctly, or, yeah.
He's standing in front of the school with reporter Brian Reed as the kids stream into the school. Ethan is wearing a button-up shirt with green and black stripes that he is not happy with.
That was my mom. She made me wear it. She said that if I don't wear the two shirts that I am wearing right now, that I can't go to the dance.
What are you hoping happens at this dance?
I'm hoping nothing bad happens, like no humiliation or not something that'll be a story for the next month or two. At least to me.
Of course, Ethan and the girls in that car in Illinois are 6th graders. In New York City, 7th graders Evelyn Benson and Alice Westerman are excited and feeling very grown up on their way to their school's Halloween dance.
I'm really happy because like last year, they like split the gym in half, so it's like light on one side and like pitch black on the other side. All the 6th graders are kind of like banned from the dark side, but that's where like all the cool kids are. So now we're in 7th grade and we dance on the dark side, so it's like, woo, we're cool. Dance on the dark side. Dance on the dark side.
Some of the middle school boys got up the nerve to ask girls to be their dates to the dances. But because this is a new experience for the girls too, being asked out on a date, they don't exactly know how to handle it. Here's a girl named Autumn talking with our producer Lisa Pollock in Delaware the afternoon of the dance.
Did you get asked to the dance?
Yes, I did.
And what did you say?
I said I don't know, but I probably won't say yes.
Wait, you haven't told him yes or no yet?
No.
Okay, so it's 1:20 and the dance is at 7.
Yeah.
When do you have to let him know?
I probably won't answer.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I just kind of want to hang out with the girls.
So he's the only one who asked you?
There was other people too.
How many?
Probably 5-ish.
What, 5 boys asked you to dance?
Yeah.
You told all these guys I don't know?
Yeah.
What if they took that as a yes?
Then they got the wrong answer.
Do you say I don't know because it feels too mean to say no?
Yeah. I'm not mean.
Of course, some of the boys are no better. During the dance in Wyndham, Maine, our reporter Claire Holman pulled 6th grader Christopher Potter out of the action for a chat.
Is there anyone you like at the dance?
There is.
Does she know?
Yes, she does. We're kind of dating at the time.
So how's that going?
Good, it just started like 20 minutes into this. So, yeah.
You asked a girl to go out during this dance?
No, a girl came to me and asked me out.
Okay, let's go minute by minute. So where were you when this happened?
I was in the cafeteria, just got a drink of root beer, and she walks up to me and asks me to go out.
What did she say exactly?
She said, "Chris, will you go out with me?"
And were you surprised?
Not really. We've kind of been like on and off again.
So it's not the first time?
Yeah, not the first time.
But she always ask you, or do you ever ask her?
Well, it's kind of weird because it's always she wants me to ask her, so it was weird that she asked me.
Yeah, usually they don't last. It's a middle school relationship. Nothing really happens.
What does that mean, like a middle school relationship? What do you mean doesn't last? It just is destined to fail, pretty much.
Yeah, 'cause, like, it's a middle school. I mean, this isn't like where you're starting your life with. You don't hear things about middle school sweethearts.
In Richmond, outside Moody Middle School stands, reporter Eric Mennel spoke with Elliot German and his stepbrother Jonathan Lawton, they're both 8th graders, who ran through the official rules for the dance.
So some of them are kind of funny. It says, it's like no hands below the waist, no petting, which I thought was kind of funny.
No petting?
Yeah, no petting.
What does that mean?
No one knows.
Like it was specifically on like the flyer that they handed out. Like they give you the dress code and then they give you like the rules. No petting, and it's in like quotations, and you never know what it means. It's like, do people like sit there at dances and just like pet other people? Because that's really weird.
There are rules like this at all the dances, and some more comprehensible than others. As for whether or not the kids obey the rules and what actually happens inside the dance on the actual dance floor, one of our producers, Lisa Pollock, went inside to the dance floor at the fall costume dance in Lewes, Delaware, and I'm going to hand it off to her.
So the scene in the gym was pretty much the way you remember it. Older kids dancing in the middle, younger kids the periphery, few aimlessly wandering around looking like they're not sure what to do. Lots of kids were dancing, jumping up and down. Occasionally you'd see a fist pump. They danced in these tightly packed clusters, with very little room between them. And outside of the clusters were chaperones, ready to step in if they saw any grinding or suggestive dancing. Hovering outside one of the clusters was a teacher named John Gauze, and he looked perplexed.
This knot has got me on edge at this point.
Why?
Because they're trying to get away with stuff. Like, you can tell by the way they're looking at you. They have a guilty look. Because you're about to see me swoop.
He actually did swoop. He plunged into the pack of kids, pulled the boy aside, and talked to him. Then he told me why.
He needed to be taken aside and told to stop being up against those girls like that. That's why I don't want to jump in too much, but I just want to give him like the whoa with the flat hand whoa, just calm it down a little. I mean, usually if I see it, then they're going to stop because they see me.
And then comes the moment of truth. The moment that forces every kid in the room to make a decision. The moment that separates the timid from the brave. The slow song. I watch it with teacher Brian Comra.
So we got our slow song, and just as I suspected, a majority of the students left the dance floor. All the couples are in the middle of the dance floor in a cluster. I suspect so they're not near an adult.
I love how the kids go up to the couples dancing and interrupt them.
Oh, absolutely.
Some of the couples didn't have much privacy. Their friends were standing a foot away, hanging out and talking to them. And every so often, a random kid would just cut across the dance floor.
This girl right here just grabbed onto the back of her friend's neck while the friend is dancing with the boy.
Yeah. I don't know if she didn't want to be left out or they came as friends or... I think at this stage of the game it's hard when boys and girls pair off and then one friend is always left behind.
There's a few of these slow dances, but most of the songs are fast. And then suddenly, the song Hit the Road Jack starts playing, and the lights snap on.
Oh my God, they just all like...
Yeah, it ends very abruptly. It's 9. It's 9 o'clock.
That's it?
That's it. There's no wind down. 9 o'clock, lights come on, parents are waiting. It'll be empty in another minute.
And he was right. The experiment in mini adulthood that is the middle school dance was over. The same kids who minutes earlier were holding each other and swaying awkwardly on the dance floor got into cars and said hi to their parents.
Lisa Pollock. Coming up, surviving middle school by pretending that you are from a completely different family. That is in a minute. Chicago Public Radio, when our program continues.
All right. So, I don't know if you've been to a school dance, if that is your, supports kind of your memory of being at a dance. If you have not been to a dance and JCTMS had one, would you go? Would be questions that we would discuss in class if we were able to. Unfortunately, just gives you something to think about. All right. So, in a minute, I'm going to talk to you about your independent work for this week. This video is getting a little bit long. So this week in Khan Academy, you'll be working on punctuation, including italics and underlining, using quotes and titles, as well as parentheses. Be sure to complete the test, which will be over semicolons, colons, parentheses, dash, and ellipsis, all things that you have been working on in the last 2 weeks in Khan Academy. So finally, this is what I need you to do for my class this week. This work will be due on Monday, the 27th, April 27th, okay? So the first thing you'll notice in Google Classroom is a vocabulary activity, which is going to be practice with the vocab words that you're going to see in this unit. You should find that in Google Classroom and be able to submit it to me through that. Then I would like for you to read middle school, which is what you just listened to. Reread it, take a look at it, and then complete the assessment on Common Lit. Again, you should be able to submit that to me through Common Lit. There is the graphic organizer found earlier in this slide. Sorry, I forgot to finish that up. That graphic organizer is optional, but it will help you to write your essay at the end of the unit which is going to be in about 3 weeks or so. So if you want to kind of keep notes on each of the stories that you'll be reading over the next couple of weeks to help you write that final writing piece, I think that would be a good idea. I will submit that, hopefully those that work through Google Classroom so you can access it as well. And then finally, the Khan Academy work that I just talked to you about, the things that you will be doing. All right, so that's it. I hope you have a great week. I'll be back with another video next week. As soon as I end this, I think I'll go ahead and release the scores on your Common Lit from last week, which was The Road Not Taken, so you can see how you did on that. And I think that's about it. So, all right, have a great week. See you soon. Bye.